everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7. This is going to be a new video series. I think this is going to be a complete guide from start to finish, and this is one of those things I've been putting off. I started it in the past, but ended up giving up on the series, but we're gonna bring it back because every day I wake up lately, I go to my Discord or YouTube, and I've got like 50 different PMs about what to do in the early game, where to farm, how to gear your units, literally every question, like how to beat Abyss 81, how to beat Abyss 53, everything. So this is just something I think I need to do as a content creator, and I haven't been wanting to do it because there just wasn't anything new. You know, there wasn't anything new since last time I kind of looked at something like this. But now they've added the new adventures path, they've added the new pet system, they've added a ton of stuff, and I think it's really going to help me do this, and it's really going to make it more enjoyable for me. So again, I'm super excited to do this. I really hope you are too. I'd love to hear in the comments below whether or not you want to see something like this, and any improvements I can make to the series. Also, I really appreciate your comments, your subscriptions, everything like that. Really helps me get these videos out to newer players. So let's get into this here. This video is brought to you by Sneak Energy. I'm wearing their clothes right now. Absolutely love that. But this is an energy drink that is as healthy as you can get for an energy drink, and I love them. They are flipping tasty. They're actually really cheap per serving as well. It's really easy to make. My favorites here, which one is this? This is going to be the watermelon one, strawberry watermelon right here. This is one of my two favorites. There's a ton of different flavors. This one as well is my tied for favorite right now. This one is going to be the Tropicilla. And I also have a sneak preview of one of the ones that isn't out until tomorrow, and this is Blackout. I love their branding, which is why I love their clothes so much. I have these basically every day on stream, and they're wonderful. If you use coupon code MANGO, you can get a little bit of a discount, and you also give something back to me, which is awesome. My recommendation, if you're picking something up and just want to try it out, I would go with a taster set. This also gives you a free shaker to go with it. You could also get a starter stack, which does the same thing, and you also get a shaker as well. The way it works, you put the stuff in, you put water in, you do some shaking, and out pops some deliciousness. And that's actually my favorite part, because you can temper it to your liking. If it's too sweet for you, you can put a little less in. If it's not sweet enough, you can put more in, whatever floats your boat. So anyways, thank you again for Sneak for the support. I love this stuff. They also have some pretty cool statistics, like anybody who tries their taster stack ends up ordering again ASAP because they love it so much, and that's the type of thing I love to see with a product like this. So let's get back into the video. First tip as we go in here, if you wait on your tutorials, it comes up with a skip button. I know most of you know that already, but that's just one of those annoying things that I hated clicking through. But obviously, if you need this video, maybe you should watch the tutorials anyway. So to start things off here, we're going to take a look at the adventurer's path. This is something I didn't have when I played through the game the first time, and it is unbelievably useful. This is basically your tutorial for the entire game. 100% anything they ask you to do here, this is what I would be focusing on, just because the equipment, the gold, the everything you do in this sort of area is just super duper worth it. I'm actually really excited to see what they give you and when, and see how it kind of affects my gameplay. So we're just gonna follow this through. We can see all the rewards here, tons of stuff, and of course when you go down to the bottom, I'm not sure if it'll let me see it. It won't, but tons and tons and tons of stuff. So let's just keep doing this, and we'll be back in a bit.
The Infinite Library.
Hey, our first summon. Let's see what we get here. Who's coming? No, thank you, buddy. I know God wills it, but not my God. So that's our first summon. So we're gonna get to our selective in just a second here too. I'm pretty excited for it. I'm not sure what I'm gonna look for or what I'm gonna take, but I'm excited. Also, one thing to note, as we're going through the stories here, it is imperative to finish all these things. So this one here, Tyrell Castle, has an open gold chest in it. You're not going to be able to do this the first time, but you will be able to get it done the second time you go through. Using the maps here is pretty self-explanatory. It's one of those things that once you figure out their themes and how they handle things, you'll get it pretty easily. So we see this place is locked here on the map, and we know there's a chest in here because it does say open gold chest. And if you look at the map, there's one little dead end over here, so that's guaranteed basically to be the chest just from how they do maps. You'll notice if there's ever a dead end like that, it is almost always a chest or a lever or something similar to that. And we have the sanctuary here too. I have multiple guides on this on YouTube if you want to check them out. I can probably link some for you, but we're going to be walking through these as we go, and I'll talk through why I do and why I put certain things in certain places as we go. I think the first one here forces you into Mirror of Light, which is fine. We'll start getting our stuff, and as we get more, we'll tell you what we put it in here. So our second time in Tyrell Castle, we can see that the area is open now, and we can make our way to where the chest is. If an area ever has like 3 stars and you don't have 3 stars in it yet, make sure you go back in and figure out why, because the rewards add up and you get stage rewards for how many stars you get, and it's just definitely something you need to do, and you get some of the best gear this way too. Definitely get this done. Our second Heart of Orbis here is just gonna improve the building here. I do like to upgrade this to 133. That's like my ideal here. So we're just gonna start with which one should we do? It doesn't really matter. We're gonna get a bunch of these in a row. Let's just do this because I like getting extra rewards and I think it's super fun. Don't know if that's the right choice, but it's the fun choice. But our next couple are probably gonna go into Mirror and Benedictory Sanctum, and then probably one into Cradle of Life, depending on how often you play. If you don't play very often, you'll probably want to max out Cradle of Life, though, just because it'll stay max, and that's not exactly the best thing. Okay, and now the moment you've all been waiting for, and the moment I've been waiting for, too, because I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this special selective summon here. I don't want to listen to the tutorial. So the units you can get from the selective summon are Balanzazan, Sigrid, Ludwig, Destina, Vildred, Basar, Araminta, Chloe, Ken, Tywin, Charlotte, Ravi, Sez, and Iseria. I would not consider anything else on this list. I would never, ever, ever accept a 5-star artifact, and I would never really get swayed by a 4-star hero or a 4-star artifact. I would specifically just be going for the unit I wanted the most, or the unit I think would perform the best. So there's actually quite a few really good units right now in this list. We're just gonna go through each one of them and why, I guess. So first off, we're gonna go down the list. I would say Destina is the first one that stands out if you're looking for a solid healer that's gonna do really well all throughout the game. Really great for Guild War, really great for arena offense, I find, if you like a slower offense. Just an overall really good unit. I don't think she's the best choice here, but she's a fantastic unit all around, and she's going to be on your team for a while, especially if you don't have something like a Tamarin. Number 2 is going to be Vildred. Vildred is insane. He's probably the fastest unit on this list in terms of how far he'll help you progress, but I feel like he drops off a little bit in the end game. I feel like the others are a little more useful. Like, he doesn't help for your Wyvern 11 team. There's better options for Guild Wars, there's better options for Arena, there's better options for PvE. There's just not really too many better options for farming. That said, we did get a new unit. What's her name? Lena? The big gal. You know who I'm talking about. We did get her recently, who can take Vildred's places farming, also is easier to skill up, and all sorts of other things. So I wouldn't recommend Vildred here either, but I would never fault anybody for taking him. Next up is Basar, and Basar is pretty much one of the most OP units in the game right now, but unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, it's a PvE focused unit, so he's probably not going to help you out too much in PvE. He's one of the ones I would take for the super long term, but not necessarily the short term. Next up on the list is going to be Ken. I think Ken is overall one of the best to take still, I think. He's going to help you out in all sorts of PvP. He's going to help you out in Arena. He's going to help you out in Guild War. He's going to help you out basically everywhere in the game, and he's just going to be a solid unit everywhere. I think he's a fantastic choice and probably the one that stands out the most here right now. Also, there's Tywin, who goes really, really well with a couple other units, namely Basar, but I wouldn't choose him over some of the others on this list. And finally, I would say Iseria is another option you could take just because she enables so many units, specifically somebody like Dark Corvus or Tamarin. But she's really, really atrocious at the start by herself. She's so slow. Her animations take forever, and she will slow you down compared to the others. So those are the ones I think are worth taking here. And the others definitely just probably not. You're probably better off with something else instead. So that's my recommended advice for selective summons. As for what I want to take here, I'm undecided, to be honest. I want this account to mimic a regular account to the closest to my ability. So I'm thinking about taking Ken just because I feel like a lot of other people are going to take Ken, so you can see what Ken does and kind of experience that. But at the same time, I can't swear on this channel. F Ken. That's the best I can do. I really dislike Ken as a character. I don't think I'll have fun using him, and I'll want to play this account less with Ken on my team. So personally, I really just want to get a cigarette or something fun like that because that's just what I want to play with. But that said, we'll just see what it gives us here. I'm also going to be focused on 3 stars too, since I think 3 stars are going to be a big part of this account. So we're just going to talk about the ones that have actual good units in them. This is not one of them. I would never again take anything without a 5-star in it. Just going to click through, and another one, no 5-star. Oh, we did get a Wind Rider here. There was no animation. Kind of surprised there was no animation. Oh, I have to turn it on. I have to turn it on. I'm going to go turn it on. We can't summon without animations. That's ridiculous. I think it's in settings now, right? Game settings, summon settings. Perfect. No, never, ever, ever. You should unclick those because you want to watch every summon you can. So let's go back into here, do some more summons. Oh, maybe we shouldn't do it with 4 stars during the selective summon. We'll take it off during selective summon because we only care about the 5 stars in selectives. I take that back. But right after you're done your selective, you should enable that because, like, not seeing those is so much less fun. So we got an artifact. We don't care. You can also only get 1 5-star per 10 pull in this. So we will not be even caring what else is with a 5-star artifact because we know we can't get a hero. This is another artifact. If girl with the pink hair comes up on the left, I think it's a girl, it means it's an artifact. If they come up on the right, it means it's a character. Also, while you're summoning here, I'm going to have to let this show so I don't skip it. But if you look at the box here on the left side, it's a knight there, so that means we're going to get a character. But if it looks like a bunch of symbols, that means it's going to be an artifact. This is another character. Through it here. There's a character. Let's see what we get. So we got a Sez. Sez is actually not a bad choice either as a starter, but I think there's just better options. I definitely do not want to start with Sez. I've already done that before. Nothing. Another character. Good, 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 good. What do we get? Something fun. Hey, Iseria. Iseria is not a bad start. Let's see what else we get with this. We got Iseria and nothing else, so I have a ton left. I would definitely not take that. Not take that too. We got an artifact, and you can see the left side is a little bit different. That means we're getting an artifact, not a hero. RNL, we got the boobies smashed together. We won't be taking that either, just because, like we said before, we are not taking an artifact. We got a character here. We can tell because we can't click through it. Ludwig. I really, really dislike Ludwig. I will not be taking Ludwig at all. I actually tried them on an account like this before, and I didn't enjoy it whatsoever. So we got an artifact. Again, you should be able to tell this by now. We're just going to skip this, though. Unless we get double boobies again. Oh, we didn't. Ooh, Rod of Amarilla. Such great art. I forgot what that looked like. All the 5 stars. Hey, Ravi. So Ravi's not a terrible choice either. Ravi, Carrot, Adley. Not a terrible choice either, but I think Ken's just better. We're not going to take that. We got an artifact. We got a Holy Sacrifice. Really fun artifact for Crow, but not my favorite. Okay, so we only have 9 choices left. We might actually just end up without a 5-star, because if we don't get a 5-star from this, we are not we're not resetting. So here's hoping. And we're not taking an artifact either. So even if we have 1 more left, we're refreshing. We're letting fate decide. 7 left. 6 left. Hey! We might have to take this one, as long as it's not something stupid. Hey! Fate has decided. So this account is going to be a Sigrid account. I'm really excited for this, and I hope we get something else fun with this. We get Carrot too. Nice. Okay, this is really awesome. We got some of like the best 3-star starter characters that I wanted to take a look at. We've got Ruzid here, we've got Carrot, we've got Curious to help us out for PvE. We've even got Jekt for dispels if we need, and Carmen Rose is actually really good too. So this is actually really exciting for me. We're for sure keeping this. If I was like a regular person re-rolling, I would not keep this. I would probably just keep going for a better account. But because it's just a tester account and I want to have fun with it, this is something I'm keeping. Awesome, that's really exciting. Do we have any more summons? We don't, right? Let's just go see if we can make any more summons. Click through all the things. There we go. We've got 1 more. Oh, 2 more summons. Oh, 3 more summons. One thing I want to mention too is in this window here in Reputation, on the left side, there's a View Story button once you get it upgraded far enough. You need to click that to get permanent bonuses to your account. If you don't click that, you don't get the bonuses. So I see many people with like a level 50 account not clicking View Story, and you don't get the bonuses from that. So that is really, really sad. So you should probably do that. As for where to spend your Covenant bookmarks, I would save a lot of times until there's like a really good banner right now. Basar would be worth it to summon for sure. I'm going to summon on Covenant just as we get them to try to get a Moonlight because that's really fun. But in general, I would wait for a banner you're going for and go from there because that's just the fun thing to do. So Aqua Rose. New artifact, like a candle would be okay, I think. One of these would be really okay. This is a really good starting artifact for those of you that don't have 5-star artifacts available. You put it on your tank / healer. So for example, if I had Destina right now, I would put Destina in the front with Prophetic Candle on, or Angelica, or Montmorency, maybe even not, probably not Montmorency, but you put it on the front where they're tanking and they reset all their cooldowns. And it's awesome. I don't know what other 3-star artifact we could get, but that's not one of them. So with all your chapters too, you want to get as many stars as you can. You get a region reward depending on how many stars you get. Really important adds up there, and we also get the quest done. They get better as you go along, but right now they're going to help you awaken your starter units. We're just going to grab all the things we can, get some leaves. Ooh, we get another summon. I always like summons. Summons are exciting. We get a Phantasm, and Phantasms are just used for fodder. We'll talk about that in a little bit. and receive reward for the final. We get our chapter complete, get our stuff, and then we move on to chapter 2. But before we do that, we're gonna go do some summons. Okay, our last summon here. Hey, what are we gonna get? Hey, character. Hopefully somebody fun. I don't even know who would be fun. Collie. Collie would be really fun.
I am the aspiring
I
warrior,
hate this guy.
Leo, and this is my friend Raku. Nice
Leo
to meet you.
did get a semi-buff recently, so maybe he's somebody we might use. We'll consider that. And by consider, I mean we'll not do that. Okay, so now that we have our team, let's put together our team after our selective summon. We are going to take everybody out here. So we're gonna sort by grade, I guess. So we're absolutely putting Sigrid in. We're not gonna put Mercedes in. I really like Mercedes, but she is a 4-star unit which takes Molagora now, as opposed to the ones that take Stigma. I think it's just way better to use somebody that takes Stigma. We didn't actually get a super great healer, so we're gonna stick with Prince Aether as our healer. We're for sure gonna try out Carrot, and that leaves us with 1 Earth unit. So we're gonna do Ruzid for the final one, and try that. So we're gonna put Aether in the front. So the front one means they'll be targeted more than anything else. I don't know if this is a good idea. I don't know if Aether can tank this. I know Raz is probably better, but Raz is boring. And we're gonna put Prophetic Candle onto our Aether, and this makes it so every time he's hit, he has a 20% chance to reduce his cooldown by 1 turn, which means he'll be able to cycle through his heals much faster than otherwise. So we're gonna start off gearing our Sigrid here. We actually have a quest to upgrade gear to 3 first, right? Yeah, so we've got an Aspiring Adventure quest to upgrade gear to 3, so we're just gonna bring this Prayer Sword up to level 3. I think we have enough to do it. Let's just use a Weapon Charm. Yep. As expected, we really were hoping for anything but effectiveness there, but doesn't really matter on this stage of weapon. So let's go back to our thing, get some rewards. And this is why you unlock it as you go. So because I'm a doofus and didn't do that before I did 110, I now have to go back and do 110 and actually get the reward for this. So we're gonna go do that real quick. So now that we've done our selective and we've got our little bits of gear at the start, it's time to fully equip our original team. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this yet or who's gonna get what, but I feel like I'm gonna start off with an artifact on her for a little bit extra damage. That's the only reason for that. As for equipment here, we'll go through the equipment organizer, which is nice. This is one of the best things they added to the game, actually. So let's just see what our set turns into. So we're going to try to get an attack set on our Sigrid. She's going to be our damage carry. Really doesn't matter too much which pieces we give her. We have no accessories left, as long as we have a set that works. So we're going to start off with this one. And as for right side gear, which is going to be your necklace, your ring, and your boots, in general, you're going to want to go for percent stats on right side. Like I have 4% attack on my right side right now. I also have flat defense here, which is not a percent, so these are going to not be very good. So keep that in mind. Also, speed is very important. Speed cannot be percent, so flat speed, great. So let's just upgrade these a little bit. We're going to use our equipment charms just because it's going to help out a lot really early. We're going to go to 6. It shows you how gear upgrades in the bottom left, but basically every 3 levels you get a substat increase. And at 9 here, we don't have another substat. So we're going to randomly get a new substat. At 12, we're going to randomly get another new substat. And at 15, we're going to get a huge boost to the main stat. We're also going to get a random substat increase from that too. It's way more important to upgrade your right side gear over your left side, simply because if we look at our chest here, it's flat defense, and this is always flat defense on chest. Our helm is always flat HP, and our weapon is always flat attack, which isn't terrible, but percents just adds so much more than anything else. I'm going to do this to 6 just because. Cool. And then the next person we're going to gear up is going to be our Aether, because my Aether needs to survive somehow. So we're going to give Aether a health boots here. We're going to give him a health chest. We're going to give him a health helm, and I think we have a health weapon too. Perfect. So we're going to go like that. We can't really upgrade anything, so we're just going to leave it there. Next up is our Carrot. Carrot's going to be our attacker, so we want to try to get her another attack set, but I think we're going to be a little too short on an attack set, so we'll just throw stuff on. We'll fill this up as we go along. And for her artifact, I don't even know which artifact to put on her. None of these really make sense at all, so I'm honestly just not going to put anything on. And our fourth here, which was Ruzid. So Ruzid will just put a little bit of anything on. We do like the speed that we get on those boots, even though it's only 1. And perfect. And as for him, let's just put this on here just to try to get him a little bit of a barrier. Again, doesn't really matter for now. But our gear is set up well enough for the very, very start of the game here. Okay, so that's where we're going to end up for this first episode. Again, please let me know in the comments below whether or not this is something you're interested in. As we get further on, it'll start to get more advanced. Right now, it's very, very simple for very, very new players. And hopefully they can learn as these videos go out and as they progress through the game. And hopefully I can teach experienced players something too. And also, I am so excited for Sigrid right now. I'm just so unbelievably excited for Sigrid. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll talk to y'all later. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.